Welcome to Lifestyles of the Strange and Exotic, sadly jury-rigged haul. I've got you so many levels of DIY, I can't even. I can't find. I have huge tripods, but even at their littlest section, all I need is like a foot tall, and even the little ones aren't tall enough. So, yeah, don't anybody don't sneeze, you'll fall over. So, this is sort of a random hodgepodge haul of different goodies. And starting with the pile is something I picked up at the Topic. And I saw them there and they wanted like $5 for them. Then they marked them down to $3 and I'm like, okay, they're mine. They're little Doctor Who earrings. They're little bitty baby TARDISes. Though of course they should be blue. But I plan on attaching them to my one of them to my bracelet and they'll have a backup TARDIS. Doctor would probably appreciate a backup TARDIS. So they did have a necklace there. It had like a little bow tie and I think something that actually said what TARDIS meant, which was time and relative dimension in space. So, but they wanted like $7 for it, and there's a couple of things that I kind of like there. But yes, I like the little TARDIS earrings. They're so cute. So, BBC Terry Nation 1963. So last year, nope, it was a couple of years ago that it was the 50th anniversary, and this year is Star Trek's 50th anniversary. And schmutz. So that was cool. It made me very happy. And the next thing I got today, which was the only thing I got at the Will, and of course I left my wallet elsewhere with my card that's full up now. So I didn't spend the $5 anyways, so I didn't get a new card. So I'm surprised they didn't break this up, because we all know that they like to break up sets and charge you separately for them. But I guess they figured, well, nobody'd be interested. But I was. And this for $3 is Hollywood Goes to War. And this is cool because it's about the propaganda the Hollywood machine put out during World War II. And these documentaries, well, what the documentaries that are on here, which is most of them, are documentaries that were going on during the war, if not slightly after the war. The first one is sort of a collection. No, I think it's just sort of one USO war bond type thing they put out that was in 1945 or something like that. It's like, well, the war is over, but of course you have to take care of the soldiers and stuff, so they were selling war bonds for that. So this is pretty freaking cool. So I actually managed to use his old beat up portable DVD player, which worked on disc 1, but it was screwy on disc 2, and Reagan was doing the narration, so it was really kind of funny. And of course I got Clark Gable here, Google him. As like a captain in the army, which I guess he was a real captain, I don't know. Played in Gone with the Wind, Ask Your Grandparents. I thought it was boring, I couldn't get past the credits. And it goes, during World War II, no group of Americans gave more to the war effort in time, talent, energy, and raising of money than the Hollywood stars of the day. Clark Gable, James Stewart, Lloyd Bridges, Ronald Reagan, Robert Taylor, I've never heard of, Frank Capra, Walter Houston, I think is Angelica Houston's father, and or John Houston, and William Wyler, I've never heard of, worked on and appeared in many war documentaries that brought hope and understanding about the war to the American people back home. Humphrey Bogart, Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, Betty Hutton, Alan Ladd. His name's familiar, and I can't remember what he was in, like Flash Gordon or something like that. I don't know, Grandma would know. Well, maybe. Barbara Stanwyck, Carmen Cavallero, Red Skelton, to name a few, worked tirelessly throughout the country to raise the needed money for the government to continue its war effort. This 2-pack DVD set, which contains mostly color films, honors those proud Americans. And the first one was Hollywood Victory Caravan and Bond Rallies. This documentary shows the time and energy the Hollywood stars put forth during World War II in order to support America and its troops in the fight against Germany and Japan. And that was pretty darn funny. I mean, those jokes still hold up 60, 70 years later? 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, really, really long time ago. So, I mean, I'm a history World War II buff, so I'm familiar with these names, even though I'm most of them were probably gone before I was even born. But anyway, really good so far, but I have to test disc 2 on a different machine to make sure. I mean, the disc itself looks fine, so it might have been his player. And of course, it would have been the one that was breaking. So, I was happy about that. And the next thing I got, I admit I got it because of the label, but I'm pretty damn sure that this is like a knockoff of a even cheaper knockoff. And the bag itself I like anyways. And it's a Simply Vera by Vera Wang, who makes like the wedding dresses, so I'm not sure if she makes handbags or not. But it feels really cheap, so it's like about as fake as you can get for fake Vera Wang. And the pocket's kind of coming off on the inside, so I might just epoxy it, I don't know. I don't remember if it was half off or not. I don't know if that was put in here or not, probably not. It may or may not have been half off. But it's a cheap fake Vera Wang. I mean, if these are an expensive bag, I sure as hell wouldn't understand why people would spend $100 for this, because I mean, I've seen stuff that comes out of Sears a little bit better than this. Actually, that might fit in there. So, it's okay, but if it's a designer bag, it sure as hell ain't a real one. But I got it because of the Vera Wang. Though I did see, what the holy hell is that guy's name? Michael Kors? Sounds like an athlete, doesn't he? It was in Savers. Somebody had donated a Michael Kors bag, and on used it was like $190 something, and I'm like, so yeah, I don't think I'll be owning one of those. I can only own the really, really fake and the really, really ancient, you know, name brand stuff. So basically, if anything, I bought myself a large giggle that only I get. So, but it's useful anyways. So I might just put the books I now will show you. And I'll tell you what. Before I bury him completely again, I got him for $2, and I'll call him Bill. And with my other channel, I'm kind of connecting to the Bill of Rights, and I thought that was kind of cool. I think he needs to be cleaned up. And of course, being in like Massachusetts and New England and the whole colonies thing, you know, we're kind of attracted to that. With a cork in the bottom of him. Oh, he's a pepper shaker. So was the other one the Constitution? So are you salt or you pepper? I don't know, but it was a salt and pepper shaker. So Bill here, which is so darn cute. And it was something at church for some weird reason. We did the Declaration of Independence as puppets, and I did the entire thing. And one of the ladies was like, you know, you could have condensed it. And I, without even blinking an eye, I go, well, it's all important. And I was like, you can't, like, pick and choose, you know? So, same thing with Bill of Rights. Google it. It's important. So, we'll have to figure out where Bill can hang out. Will you fit there? I think Bill will hang out over there, next to the globe. Though, wasn't he dressed up as a Tory? Is that what they were called? The English, anyways, because he's a red coat. I don't know. So, I'll tell you what, you hang out there, Bill. And now, I shall show you the buttloads of books that I picked out from the even bigger buttload of books that my friend gave me, because she cleans out houses, and she knows I'm a total nerd. She's like, well, I found a bunch of, like, science fiction stuff, but they're, like, really, really old, and I'm like, classic science fiction, that when they were good? So, yes, please. So, I picked up this one, which I shall be reviewing shortly. And this one, which again I shall be reviewing shortly. And all of these, which I shall review eventually. So, and I came across this one, and I don't know if anybody has seen the movie, and Disney put it out, and I think I came across it through YouTube. I think Doug Walker or one of those guys reviewed it, and I'm like, that's kind of interesting, and I think I found it through the library. I'm not sure. So, and it was pretty good for Disney's version of being dark in those days. So we'll see how the book goes. One of the few times where I've actually seen the movie, well, yeah, seen the movie before I've seen the book, or read the book. So, that was cool. And, let's see, Arthur C. Clarke, of course, I was going to pick up. And this is when you could get a story in one book. This doesn't seem to be I don't think it's a series, at least this one anyways. Nope, just other Signet books. So you can have a self-contained story, and they're still fairly small books, but you can get your point across, unlike my videos, in a short amount of time. There was one a few years ago, it was a Star Trek series, and it was, Titan, I think it was? Okay, kind of interesting. And then it's like, well, how many are there going to be? I think at last count, there was at least 7. I'm like, no. No. So I respect you if you can get 3 is as most, a trilogy is what I'll allow for you. So, I got that one. And speaking of a trilogy, this is from Patricia A. McKillop, and it's the dramatic accumulation of the quest of the Riddle Master of Head. So you got Riddle Master of Head, Heir of Sea Fire, and Harpist of the Wind. So that seems like it'd be pretty kind of cool. So I think this is more of a sci-fi fantasy type of thing. And I picked up Jupiter Project and the Mysterious Planet. And of course it goes Planet X discovered beyond Pluto, and that's kind of cool. So a lot of these are from like the 50s and 60s. 225, 150. So yeah, they're kind of old. Whopping 250 that one. So hopefully you'll have quite a few books in the. Oh, my stick. We got this nature walking, which I've edited and it'll be up eventually. And it just reminded me of a whistle. I don't know. So I got a stick that kind of looked like a whistle. So I shall stick my stick in the thing of sticks. Alright. So that is my buttload of awesome sci-fi haul. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the book reviews. And do remember to comment, rate, share. The fuck? There's the stick on. And subscribe. There's always room for more at the Strange and Exotic. See you next time. Bye. I picked up a ghost whistle stick.